This is our flash forward video for our bins and projects module. First, a bin is a container for tasks related by category. I'll talk about that more in the next video, but I think that's important to know as we go here. So let's create a few bins that we might have. Let's say a bin that's related to yard work. Let's say a bin that's related to office one-off tasks. Let's say we have a bin related to travel. So here are 3 bins. We'll assign them as bins. We've done that. Now they're bins. What that means is that we can now create tasks. Yard task 1, yard task 2, yard task 3. Sorry about that there. I had my internet issue, but you can see everything went okay. Office task 1, office task 2, travel task 1, travel task 2, and all I have to do is assign these to the appropriate bins after I've created them as tasks. Sorry, I get the wrong thing there. Just create them as a task first. Task. There you go. And then we'll say yard task 1, 2, 3 will be set to the assigned bin of yard work, and then office task 1 and 2 will be set to the assigned bin of office one-off tasks, and travel will be set to the assigned bin of travel. And what's really cool then is up here inside these bins, you can up the bin dashboard and you'll be able to see the work that's there, the completed tasks. If I complete one of these, bam, it's going to show up in the completed tasks. That will happen for any bin that you have. You will have these available. You'll be able to see what they are and connect to them that way. So that this way tasks can be assigned directly to a category, and they're not likely then to get hung up in your inbox, as sometimes happens with some of us longtime GTDers before we get into our more modern equipment can have that happen. So now let's have a look at projects. Same general idea here. Let's say build a wall around my house, dig a moat, and put in a catapult. So we're just going to turn my house into a castle here. And these are all going to be projects that we have set up here. And now we can add tasks to those the same way. I'm just going to do 1 each for this one. Actually, I'll do 2 each. Let's see. Wall 1, wall 2, moat 1, moat 2, and catapult task. We'll say all of those. And these will all be tasks. We'll assign them all to the appropriate projects. You can, I did those automatically before you, well, not automatically, but with a command. You can have build a wall around my house here and assign it within the task. Or you can use this set assigned bin, build a wall around my house, assign bin, build a moat. And as you may recall with these flash forward videos, the idea is not that you'll learn how to do it from watching me do this, but just to give you a sense of what is possible. Now with the projects, we also have the capacity to create notes that go in here. So let's say wall note 1, blah, 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 wall note 2, moat note, that's nice, moat note 2, and we'll put some blah, 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 blah in that one as well, and then catapult note that are here. Let's pull this up to this level. We'll assign these all as project notes. When these came up here, you can see a signed bin is already added to it, and the stuff that's underneath there is there. So we'll add this to our build a wall project. We'll add this to the build a wall project as well. This one we'll assign these both together. Set assign bin, not wall, moat, and set assign bin catapult. Okay, so now just like we did with the bins, we can hop here into these projects and we can see, oh, there's a project dashboard when it comes along with a project. And when I do that, I can see I have a couple of tasks here that I can assign to a particular date. And when I put these on a date, then they are also going to show up in my agendas on those dates. I also have notes that are related to this. So I have my wall note 1, which has its information added here. Wall note 2 that didn't have any info, but I can add it right here if I want. And if I'm so inclined, I can go ahead and say, hey, let's put a Walnut 3 right here in this query, and stuff. It'll be added to my daily node, my current day node, but it's already here inside this project with the notes. So there are my tasks. If I were to come back out here, I'm just going to show the one here with this particular thing. If I were to complete one of these tasks, then it would also show up in the history area of my project dashboard. You can see as the date it was completed. You can swap this to a list view if you'd rather look at it in a list format to see when these things were done. If I were also, let's say to hop out here to this thing, if I were to say discussed the build a wall around my house project here. Sorry, went off the bottom of the screen on me there. With Joe, that tag will also bring it to where it will show up in the project dashboard under the history. It just doesn't have a date associated, so it's down here. But if you did that in list view, you'd be able to see everything. So anything that's a completed task or anything that's otherwise related to this that isn't a note or an undone task will arrive here in the history, so you can keep track of what's going on in your projects for that way. I also include an ability to add an outcome for a project, to attach clients or collaborators, to track status, which we'll talk more about in the review module. But this gives you just a quick overview of what's possible here when you learn about bins and projects and how smooth it can make adding tasks to projects and managing those projects when you have a foundation like Tana for Tasks Core.